Hey, Sabeen, week number three, lesson three, assignments, and I'm really excited. I don't know if I'm conveying that well enough in my voice. This is truly a most amazing, stunning image. It's fresh, brand new, never ever seen anything close like this before in 40 plus years of not only shooting, but looking at the work of others, students included. And for that reason, I gotta just go, wow, are you kidding me? Look at this. It is possible to come away from a macro shoot with something never seen before. Well, of course, that's possible. That's why I keep shooting too, because I'm always trying to make new discoveries. And you definitely made a new and wonderful discovery. I love it, love it, love it. I just all there is to say. It's so 3D. It's not even funny, as you've alluded to. I'm thinking, man, you could spend hours doing this, and perhaps walk away with faces that appear to be pushing themselves through the mesh. All sorts of possibilities here. So, anyway, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Now, let's move on to some other stuff that you submitted. Your rock salt, trying to make this into the country of Pakistan. I get it. Hard to do. Now, to answer your question, I'm definitely not the one to ask about focus stacking. I'm old school. I guess I'm old too. That's why I'm old school. It isn't that I don't want to, like I'm some old dog does want to learn new tricks, but I don't know why I have no interest in focus stacking. Strange to say. So I can't help you with that. As far as sharpness goes, I can tell you this, and this is the dilemma with macro. Anything beyond f22 with a macro lens, you get into some serious diffraction, possibly even f16 and greater. Depends on the lens, of course. So you're at f36, you're not going to get the ultimate super sharp image simply because of what's called optical law of lens diffraction. And that's another way of saying the smaller the diameter of the hole in your lens, the greater the opportunity for a combination of pixelation and softness. And that's what's going on. So you would probably be correct to assume that your only option is focus stacking at f11. And how to do that exactly, I don't know. I know the new 850, as you alluded to, is capable of doing that, but I don't have that camera. I'm not sure if I ever will, but I don't have it currently. So with that in mind, I would strongly recommend focus stacking, but shooting it around f11, which is a critical aperture, what we call optical critical clarity aperture. Greatest color, greatest contrast, greatest sharpness at the critical aperture of f11, possibly 13, possibly 14 as well. Anyway, that's my solution. Now, as far as this image is concerned, I love it. It's the classic S-curve. Hard to go wrong with an S-curve in any shape or form. You may not realize it, but your distribution of the different tones of the salt crystals is also well noted. I like the fact that we go on dark, 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 and dark. It has this also equally nice flow. So flow upon flow. And no, I'm not talking about flow from Progressive Insurance. I'm talking about the flow of your photograph. So there you go. And finally, you and your straw twirling around in the oil and water. You are brilliant. Definitely not the circles I'm accustomed to seeing, the outer space, Star Wars looking universes. Instead, you've given me something that looks like it would be a photograph from a candy sucker manufacturer. I love this. It's beautiful. Although, let me just make one small tweak of that, which would be to run this as a horizontal. I think it's got better flow. Things are now coming up, and there's nothing wrong with, obviously, the idea of things are looking up. In other words, it's very optimistic photograph when you have it presented in this fashion. Also, let's call attention to your brilliant sense of design and composition. Here we have it right here. We've got roughly 1/3 yellow, and the balance of the frame is 2/3 of these equally wonderful complementary tones of the somewhat magenta pink and the cyan blue. This is just brilliant stuff. Wonderful. Love it. You're the best. And I want to commend you also for what is obviously a great knowledge of how to use Flash, because you had mentioned you're using Flash in this image, as well as the image of the water drops on the screen. And it's great stuff. Your Flash expertise is well noted. So the future is so bright for you, Sabeen. I'm telling you, you're going to need 2 pairs of Ray-Bans, not just one, but 2. It's going to be that intense. All right, see you next weekend, or next week, I should say, with lesson number 4. Now, I've really, you, I should say, more than anything, not me, but you have really set the bar super high. So my expectations for week 4 are off the charts. So please, you better deliver, okay? All right, see you next week.